Hello folks, how you doing? And welcome to our channel. Today, at the time of filming, is the 13th of November 2025. And what a list we have for you today. I don't know, but do you think Wednesday could be a news drop? Because it seems to be all week it's like really shh. And then Wednesday, the day before we do this video, it all comes on top of us. So I've got a list here of stuff and it's a little bit all over the place, but the areas that I'm wanting to target in this reading are Trump and the BBC, first of all. I know it's not the most important thing, but I just want to start with that. Then I've got the Trump knew about the girls email. So these new emails that were released yesterday over the past 24 hours, released by the Democrats. Um, Also, as we're looking at this bill thing that has also coincided. So have we got some distraction going on? Who knows? Then we've got Trump says emails are a hoax and Virginia liked me. And apparently Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. Okay. And then we're going to hopefully get to Jack Schlossberg, who is now going to run for Congress. And if we have time, and do you know what? With everything else that's going on at the minute, we possibly, I don't know, we'll see. But we've got a powerful cannibal storm, which has the potential to affect GPS. We've also got Mercury retrograde at this time, which is having a huge impact. I've written capital letters. Yes, look at that scroll. Could be a journalist, me. Interesting because there is a lot of light flood in the earth, but also with Mercury retrograde. And isn't it? I didn't really make the connection yesterday that the power of Mercury retrograde when we're dealing with emails and having to reread things over and over again. Do the powers that were each year? Well, I think they do know about Mercury retrograde. But you know what I mean? Interesting. Right, now I have a lot of decks in front of me. When I get into the flow of a reading, sometimes I forget to say which decks I'm using, and there's a lot of decks here. So let me just share them. So listen carefully. We're going to be using, we think, Stardust Shadows by Trish James Oracles. We're also going to be using we are going to be using the investigation deck by Trish James Oracles. We may be using predictions deck by Trish James Oracles. I would say go to her website and have a look at these decks. They are great. I've had some gifted to me, but I've also bought some. Governance Oracle, we're going to be needing that by Trish James Oracles. And we're also going to be using the Forecaster Oracle, which is a new one by Trish James Oracles. I've also got the Radiant Rider-Waite deck here. Before we get into it, when I started to do this type of content again, I was getting bored with the Radiant Rider-Waite and all the other tarot decks and all the Oracle cards that we've got. I just felt wouldn't be able to. They just didn't fit in with news stuff, the Oracle cards. I was like, I could do with a whole range of decks that specifically targeted these type of areas. And then I got an email of Trish James Oracles asking me if I'd like a deck or two. Isn't it weird? So then I went on her website and I was like, this website was made for me, literally. So yeah, I'm building up a fair old good collection here, and I like them. So right, Trump and the BBC. What deck? I'm not sure there's too many decks. Let's start with Radiant right away. Show me the energy of the BBC towards President Trump, please. Show me the energy of the BBC. And I've just got out the shower as well. Not just got out the shower, but I've still got a bit of wet hair. Show me the real true energy of the BBC. And Trump, President Trump. Show me the energy. Show me the intention of the BBC towards Trump. Okay, okay. Three of Pentacles at the bottom in reverse. We're going straight into reverses. Five of Swords in reverse. There's somebody high. Right, before we even go any further with this reading, this is for entertainment purposes only, and don't get triggered when people get triggered when I say that. I have to say it for legal reasons. It is in the disclaimer at the bottom. It's for entertainment purposes only, and there are no facts here. This is just tarot. Okay, let's get on with it. I've just got a vision of somebody high up in the BBC that wanted to do a deal with Trump, some form of a deal, and that's not happened. So I don't know who this he is, but it's somebody high up is out for Trump. Like I said, EPO, entertainment purposes only. So it's bad dealings, underhand dealings going on. This is, like when it's upright, it's about collaboration, working together, and nice stuff. This is murky stuff. Okay. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody not getting their own way. Queen of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Judgment, upright, clearing. Yeah, somebody that's not got their way. Somebody's not got their way here. Yes, Five of Coins out in the cold. So we've got somebody or something within the BBC. I don't know if it'd be a financial deal or what. But they have not got their way with Trump. Something's happened, and there is a smear or some form of smear campaign going on. But this has been exposed now, and is it the hiding of money as well? I don't know. There's something about hiding of money. I'm being shown the news things that we have today. I mean, I know it's been hijacked, but it really has been hijacked. It's not put it this way, the people that run the news now are not the same people that run it 100 years ago, 200 years ago, if they had it 200 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And but also as well, this person that's doing this towards Trump is also being paid by somebody. It's a network, it's a web. Right, what deck should we use for this as well? Investigation deck. So this is the investigation deck by Trish James Oracles. So show me the energy of the BBC towards Trump, President Trump, please. Mr. Trump, Donald Trump. Do you know, I've got a new desk and anyway, my chair. God, shut up, Claire. My chair. There's some drawers in it all the time. Show me the energy of the BBC towards Trump. Hermit kept in the dark. Hermit and kept in the dark. At the bottom, we've got a mother figure, empathy, the Empress at the bottom. Person is known. So is this somebody that we all know about, but we just don't know the name of this person, as in this person that's doing this smear campaign? And I don't think it's the actual journalist or whatever. I think it comes above that. World, end of a situation or buried, something that's been kept buried. Behind closed doors, deals behind closed doors. More than one involved, so there's a network here. And drugged or poisoned. One more card. Repeat offender. So this man is elite. Okay, so well, you are going to be elite if you've got a job high up in the BBC, aren't you? Um, he's got form. He or she has could be a woman. He or she has got form. They're a repeat offender. They've done stuff like this before. This person gets off on having power within the news. Um, Psychopath, some type of a psychopath as well. He also comes from a influential background, influential family with other connections. Um, this isn't Trump I'm talking about. This is whoever's trying to do the in the BBC. Um, who does run the BBC? Not run the BBC. And I don't want to start getting into names. Okay, I don't want to start getting into names. Um, I'll let you Google it. I mean, it may not even be the person, the head of the BBC. It could be somebody else that's, I don't know. but that's what I'm feeling. What was the intention of this article or articles? What was the intention of Star, Hidden Clues, Breakthrough, and Exposed Secrets? Wow. I mean, oh God, there's a lot going on. Something, I think I'm feeling that all of this stuff that we'll be reading about today, apart from the Jack Schlossberg stuff, I think that's just normal everyday American stuff happening. I think it's all distracting away from other things, and I think it's all dropping information during Mercury retrograde, knowing full well what they're actually doing with that hand movement. They're trying to hide something. Now, there's a lot of female energy in this reading. What could they be trying to hide in relation to female energy, a woman? But there's exposed secrets here. It's also, I'm also hearing the words, this is just a taster of what we can do. Ew. Right. Any other decks want to talk with that? Let's move on because I don't want to get stuck in these because there's a lot to, and I have a feeling things could start breaking into other areas as well. So let's keep going. Right. So we've done that BBC thing. So yesterday, I'm just looking at my list, getting my brain right. Trump knew about the girls. Well, yeah, he will have known about the girls, won't he? Because he did have connections with Epstein. But what did he know about the girls? How much did he know about the girls? Was he part of what was happening with the girls? And my eye is watering a little bit again because of the shower. Um, Stardust Shadows deck. Oops. So, in fact, let's have a look at this. I was drawn to it for a reason. So, show me, did Trump, I mean, it's not specific as it did Trump know about the Epstein girls? In, No, let's step. I want to do this reading properly. I do read all my readings properly, but I want to take my time here. I want to look at the energy again behind this. So we're going to use the investigation deck. I want to see the energy of the Democrats in releasing these emails or being behind the release of these emails. I want to see the true energy of the Democrats. We'll look at the governance deck as well, because they are kind of a government thing, aren't they? True energy of the Democrats in releasing these decks, because I've got a lot of decks on my decks. Freedom. We've got the freedom card. Running out of time. They know they're running out of time. Um, Fighting back. Hangman. Delays or sacrifice. We'll pull them and then we'll spend some time just sitting with them. Web of lies. So we've got a web of lies. Like I said, we'll pull them and then we'll spend some time reading. Rumors behind your back and the masks and the stage show. I'll tell you now, I hate it when people say, something will happen in the news and straight away someone will go, it's just distraction. But because sometimes I think that can be a get out of jail free card type. Like I don't really want to look at that, so it's just distraction. But I'm really feeling as though both sides are distracting. Um, Rumors behind your back, web of lies. Please find. Oh, right. Okay. I was having a conversation this morning with Gary, and I was saying one of the things I do keep feeling with this whole Epstein case, Epstein, is yes, I think it's horrific, but I think it's also hiding something else. And I think it's a case of truth is coming up to the surface. Do we let that go? Do we let that go? Because if people find out about that, they will flip. So we'll play with them with this. Because a lot of people can stomach teenage girls and stuff because they've got weird perceptions of women and teenage girls and, well, if what they're doing there in the first place. But what I'm feeling is, and I know many of you know about this as well, is that there is trafficky, you know what in, going on with very, 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 very young people, and goes very, very under the ground. Yes. And I wonder if that this whole Epstein thing is being used as a distraction. I'm not saying it's not happened. I wouldn't, me personally, wouldn't, if I had a daughter, wouldn't trust my daughter or son with any of these suspects, any of them, not one of them. Really, I wouldn't. But I think on a grand scale of things, I think we're not even being shown the, do you know what I mean? Let's keep them going with that. Let's keep them going that. And don't forget as well, I'm also being shown that some of these people that we're talking about own the news things and social media things, and it's all a little web of like a web of lies. Please find me. It's the little children I worry about. Sorry. It's the little children. So where are the little children? The little children. So we're not being shown that, we're being given distraction. And yes, like I said, if I had a teenage daughter, would I want her in a room with Trump and Epstein and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor? No. But I think there's something else going on here. Wheel of Fortune payback. So it's payback from the Democrats. Mental struggle or illness. Didn't we once do a reading on Biden? And Biden got this because that reminds me of a younger Biden does that. I think the Democrats have to be accountable here. It's all right. Like I said, Trump, whoa, scares me. But I think the Democrats have to be accountable here because they very clearly had a president that wasn't well and wasn't capable of the job. He was the wrong man to go in front of Trump. I mean, so it's okay throwing it all out onto Trump. I don't like it. I may not like someone or understand someone, but I don't want them to get dissed. Because it's all right saying, well, I don't like Trump, so he can get attacked and accused and wrongly set up because I don't like him. And anyway, he's a dickhead anyway. That's not my words, by the way. Um, but what happens when it is the person you like? Or what happens if that same system sets you up? And we've got to stop this thing. Well, I don't like Trump anyway, so it doesn't matter. Nobody should be set up. And I know he does his own bits of setting up that it's like it's a web. But yeah, this is all right for the Democrats to throw this out. But I've also seen very problematic pictures of Joe Biden with yes, teenagers and stuff. I have. I've seen him. Do you know what I mean? I have. We've all seen it. So it's almost like tit for tat. We'll throw you under. We'll throw you under. Undercover, undercover. It's investigate. Show me the energy of it, the true energy of it. It feels quite snidey to me. It really does. Again, please listen to what I'm saying because people tend to listen to certain things that they want to listen to and hear certain things. I'm not saying that Trump's innocent. I'm saying that this is just snidey energy. It feels very snidey, underhand energy. And literally, if Trump gets kicked out tomorrow and say, I don't know, the next president is a Democrat, I know it wouldn't be, it'd be, who's Gavin? Because no, it's not. It's JD. Well, I just got the word Gavin. It's JD J. It's not GD Vance, is it? So a president in the future could be Gavin. Who's Gavin? Anyone got a Gavin? Anyone know a Gavin? Shh. So if Trump gets kicked out, then it's JD Vance, I think. Yes. Unless he gets kicked out as well. And then it's Enrique Kirk. Shh, Claire. Take the piss. Shh. Then it's whoever it's going to be, yes. Do you really want, you may get rid of one lot of corruption, but do you want another lot of corruption? And this is the problem that we've got. So, show me the true intention and energy behind the Democrats. Yes, correct path. Something was seen. What other deck was I looking at over here? Tarot, I was going to use a tarot on that question as well. Show me the true energy behind the Democrats in the releasing of these emails. There's two. Eight of Cups at the bottom. It's weakened. It's a lack of forethought. It's not coming from a strong place. It's not somebody coming saying, that's my truth, that's my version. It's very slippery. It's somebody dropping a bomb, then walking away, parting of the deck. King of Swords in reverse. It's not a powerful person doing it. It's toxic. And this is the problem because then Trump jumps on that and says, well, this is all fake news and toxic. And then MAGA go like, whoa, and they get really excited about it. And then we end up in a real shit show. So let's now have a look at Trump. God, investigation deck. Oh, forecaster. Oh, show me Trump. Show me Trump and Epstein. Show me Trump and Epstein. Let me just write some of this off. Trump knew about the girls. We've done that. New email. No, we've done that. Emails. The bill. We've not done the bill yet, have we? What did Donald Trump, President Trump, know about the girls? So this is a Star of Shadows oracle. What did President Trump know about the girls? How deep involved in this is Trump, Donald Trump, President Trump? Web of lies, interconnected. So there is a connection here. It's a web of, we've had web of lies again. At the bottom, we've got different, not what you expect. Now that reminds me of a pimp's energy. So is the pimp Epstein? Is the pimp him? I know about Mar-a-Lago. Different, not what you'd expect. Let's keep going. Conflict, Five of Wands. Exploited talents. Cleaned up, goes quiet or hidden. Comeback will be revealed. Future, forgetting prediction. So we'll do eight. Foreign land, the world. Foreign land, is that the island itself? And exhaustion. Nine of Wands, the burden. So, web of lies. It is a web of lies. We don't need to have a deck of cards in front of us to know that. We are in the middle of a web of lies. He has a conflict of interest within this. Um, are any of you, anybody else watching this and thinking it's almost like, even like with Andrew, if he's done something, get him arrested and get him in court. Why is this acceptable? That this is like trial by social media. Do you know what I mean? I don't know who this person is that Trump's fallen out with, but Trump has fallen out with someone. And that's the catalyst for him. Trump's oh, forecaster, okay. Forecaster Oracle. Forecaster Oracle, where is it? Where's the forecaster Oracle? There. Trump's true energy towards the girls on the island. Trump's true energy. Okay. Morality imbalance, value distortions flipped out. Trump's true energy. Trump's true energy on with the Epstein girls. I hate calling them the Epstein girls. Victims of Epstein. Trump's true energy towards them. Cyber attack, data breach. Open dialogue, communication. That's Virginia. Information surge, data dump. Diplomatic fallout, tension. Power flow, energy. Fire wrath, tension heating up. Let's just sit with the cards. I really don't want to rush because I don't think it's fair to rush this reading. I like to do rush readings, but I just want to sit with it properly. My feeling here is putting what I feel about Trump to one side, which I think you need to do as a reader, is he's there, he's involved. Of course, there's pictures of him online for God's sake. But at what level is he involved? On a grand scale of having a bit of a kiss and a cuddle and a touch or whatever to at that end of the spectrum, I'd feel that Trump was more this end rather than the deep, dark, dangerous stuff. I think there's a web of people involved in this. They have all done, seen, said, and played a part in this. There is some really deep, dark, dangerous, murky characters. It goes into all institutions, all news, avenues, journalism, everything. And it's been used and plucked because I'm seeing a chicken being plucked, plucking information um, to suit the narrative of the time. But I do see people, girls, victims going to Trump and speaking. Um, we'll go on to that in the Virginia Giuffre thing. There's a diplomatic fallout. So is this a fallout between countries? There is a cyber attack going on here. Now, whether that's an actual crushing, somebody's been crushed, crushing of information, but social media is being used to manipulate. And I'm just drawn to this card. The morality imbalance, value distortion. The older man sat there, coming to the end of his life. A data dump of information right now, right in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, where we know full well, we even say as healers and astrologers, and take your time with a simple email. For fuck's sake, we say to people, take your time with your own simple emails. I mean, I remember when I learnt about Mercury retrograde and I actually got a letter and I read it 20 times, and every time I read it wrong. It was awful. And I ended up having to give it to somebody else, and it was like, whoa. And it took ages for it to clear. It was weird. So this information dump has been dropped at a time when we're in the middle of this geomagnetic storm, all this light surging in, our brains are getting with all this energy. We're coming out of the 1111 portal. There's a manipulation going on here. Yes, there's been this island of debauchery, but it's not as simple as goodies and baddies. It's they've all played a role in it to some extent at different levels. And I think we've got to be careful of thinking, well, I hate Trump, so I'm going to really go for him with this. Or I hate the royal family and I'm going to go for it with Andrew. I think we've got to be careful. Because like I've said, it may be, yeah, bring him down or bring them down, but what happens when it's bring you down or bring your favourite person down? Do you know what I mean? There's something right. Genuine from that card, it's just Trump and the Epstein victims. Regret and dirty work. Knight of Coins. Five of coins, regret. So there's regret there. Like I said, I think he's been involved, but I don't think he's deep, dark, dangerous involved. Do you know what I mean? Um, right. Also, the tension of it's going to be heating up. There's going to be more information coming out. I think everyone has to play a part in this. You can't just blame a person or a group. We've all got to look at our roles as women, as young girls, as young everything, as families, as parents, as grandparents. Um, this blame game of let's all blame Andrew, let's blame Trump, let's blame Epstein, let's blame everybody. Let's just look at how, as a collective, how as a world, that this is allowed to happen. Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Let me just get my cards up. Let's have some water. Right. So, Trump knew about the girls. Well, of course he's going to know about the girls because he was at the party. Tick. Trump says emails. Oh, right. Before we get right, Virginia liked Trump. Let's just read on this. So, I'm now going to use the Forecaster Oracle by Therese James Oracle. So, show me Virginia Giuffre, her true feelings. I want to see her true feelings to Trump, President Trump, Donald Trump. I want to see her true feelings towards him. Whoop. Boundary challenge, border issues, succession plan, next phase, earth fracture, shaky ground, morality imbalance, value distortion. Again, that card coming up. Unseen connection, hidden dynamics, civil unrest, people take action, assistance support, intervention. What do I? Strategic pivot, course correct, ripple effect, consequences. Tarot. Three cards from the tarot. What were past just flipped out? Help from the past. What did Virginia truly feel about Trump? What was the relationship like between them both? What did she really truly feel about Trump? Virginia Giuffre? Virginia Giuffre. What did she truly feel about him? Two of Swords. Ace of Swords at the bottom. The Magician. And the King of Wands in reverse. It's very complex. Did I say four cards or three? Page of Pentacles. Let's just go for four. So what did Virginia feel about him? She saw him as an all-seeing, all-hearing magician with all the tools on the table. A very young girl seeing a very older, rich, powerful man. um, caught in something that was out of her depth. A choice point, very little help was available, but he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver. He didn't live up to his promise. Right, let's go forward from there. How does Virginia feel about him now from wherever she is? And I really don't want to go into that one because I've yeah, anyway. How does she feel about him now from wherever she is? How does she feel about him? I'm also feeling with this page that she felt as though she had to then go on herself and fight her own corner. How does she feel about him now? Emotionally drained. The Knight of Cups at the bottom. Endings. Restricted. Illusion and delusion. There was a point that she felt as though he was someone to be trusted or, I don't know, trusted, turned to, supported. But right now, wherever she is in the universe, um, she feels very let down. She feels very restricted. What's going on here? I swear to God, this whole thing is a shit show. News came up again. Bloody hell. Is there something that you can do to someone? I mean, they know they do it to people every day, where you can hijack their thoughts and feelings and make them think and feel something. I'm feeling something like that here. And I'm being shown the same with Britney Spears as well. Um, I'm asking Mother Gaia, what does Virginia feel? Because to be quite honest, Mother Gaia is a much more safer energy. Um, what does Virginia feel? And what she's showing me is the energy of women who feel right now, whether you're here or in the other dimensions, despondent, let down, betrayed by men who you thought could help you. It could be men, the powers that were, it could be your school teacher, your dad, your brother, your husband, your partner, the whole circle of women that feel betrayed. I asked Mother Gaia in my head, what do you have to say about this situation with Epstein in our world? And she's showing me a group of rich, wealthy people exploiting damaged, vulnerable women. Okay, yes. Feeding off of them, manipulating them, setting them up for falls. None of it is pure, none of it is of light. Everyone saw an agenda. Everyone's still seeing an agenda. Nobody wants to look at themselves in this. My planet is full of people that want to abuse the vulnerable, be it children, women, animals, herself, the trees, the flowers. angry, resentful, bitter, twisted, demonic energies and people taking what they want when they want with no thought for others. What's your guidance for this going forward for the collective watching? She's saying the days of smaller communities will be a blessing. She said the thing is, the dark has too big a network now to work with. Smaller networks will be the blessing, where villages, towns, cities, whatever you want to call it, can watch their own easier. Power has gone from the many to the few. Also, as well, young women, young girls, older women, stepping away from the power of the womb and the power of their light magic. It's almost like trust no one but yourself. Not in a position of, not in a aspect of the people around you, but like the world stage. She said we live amongst many storytellers, many storytellers. And she showed me like a library. Well, obviously, library's full of books, and all of these books have been just thrown and raked over, and they're all open, they're all destroyed. It's all of the different stories that we're given. Okay. I don't like saying this because there are, I don't like saying it, but I've also been given, um, the problem can be in these situations as well, is that the victims can also become perpetrators. So, do you understand what I mean there? Also, as well, when we have intimate relations with another, so you get somebody young and vulnerable and they have intimate relations with powerful, dark people, energy exchange, they can take on their greed, they can take on their energy. And all intimate relations is not just a physical exchange, it's an energetic exchange. So we have to proceed with caution. It's interesting. I've not read that book yet, the Virginia book. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just getting blocked from it all the time. Every time I go to buy it, I get blocked. Energetically, it's weird, but yeah. Um, right. What the hell? Not light on here to read today. Trump says emails. Shut up with your hoaxes. Trump says emails are a hoax. So Virginia like Trump, yeah. Um, that in itself is problematic because Trump had a problematic issue with it. It's all problematic. Trump says emails are a hoax. What deck should we use for this? We've already kind of read on that, but oh God, let's read it from Trump's point of view. So Trump says emails are a hoax. What deck? Not predictions. Governance Oracle. Investigation. Let's go this one. Stardust one again. Trump said, I'm just going to say the words. Trump says those emails are a hoax. Will you tell me this deck, this gorgeous deck, you tell me, you speak to me of what these emails are, please. Over to you, deck. Okay. Ongoing, level up, three of wands, sinister, dark motives. Okay. Brain fog, hazy, not in the right mind. I think that's Trump. I don't think he's in the right mind. I think his diet alone, the fact that he lives on McDonald's, the fact that I think he drinks Diet Coke like it's running out of fashion, that fucks the brain up. So we're dealing with someone that's paranoid, that's brain fog, sinister. We're dealing with the Democrats that are also got a dark aspect. Advisor, shadow ruler. Season, learn from this. This is one of the things he's here to learn from. Leverage, Wheel of Fortune. How many cards were you? Four, five, six. Two more. Stability. And alliances, Two of Cups. When I saw that alliances card, I genuinely instantly thought, oh, that's that. In my head, I went, that's Trump and Virginia. Bound. Endings. Death. So, what do the cards have to say about Trump and his hoax and the hoax? So, ongoing, this is an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing issue that when somebody says something to Trump that he doesn't like, it's a hoax. Um, Now, it may be a hoax, but when you cry wolf so many times, etc., 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 there is dark motives. This is a sinister operation. We're dealing with, I think this is Trump. We're dealing with him with his brain fog. There is a shadow ruler, so he's even ruling. There's somebody else above him. Us needing to learn from this as women and the change in women. I'm getting this bottom line here. I'm getting a download that's possibly got nothing to do with him. What I'm being shown is this. When us women stop from a very young age idolizing rich, powerful men, and this is in everything, it's in books, films, everything, this idolization of rich, powerful men. When we change, p- problematic behavior like this will stop. When we stop getting I say we, it's the royal way. When we stop getting the buzz out of it, it will. There's a line here that is a lesson to all of us here as women. I know this isn't what you want to hear. You want to hear the slander about Trump. Oh, I was going to say scandal. It came out slander about Trump. Okay, so the slander. There is slander in relation to Trump. But we know that there's issues. We know that he's involved to some extent. We know that there's an attack coming from the Democrats. We know that there's a sinister motive. We know that there's a sinister situation. This is an ongoing situation. There is a shadow ruler or rulers around all of this. This can be certain leaders. It can be press. It's all of it. It's not A, B, C, black and white. It's very complex and will possibly never be gotten to the bottom of. But as women, because we are talking about Virginia Giuffre. This is about when we learn um, to be different, to be better, to make healthier alliances, and also mothers of daughters, stepmothers of daughters, grandmothers of daughters, and of sons as well. Um, but this is about women taking their true power back, and that the power they've got isn't just their sexual stuff that they can use to advantage themselves and then get older and realize, holy shit, what was that all about? This is something different, okay? It's about us being better. Right, so are the emails a hoax? Are the emails a hoax? Mm. There is a sinister operation here. Really sinister operation. Right. God, Epstein and being kicked out of. So, did Trump? I'm hearing as well, just because he kicked him out of his island, kicked him out of his club or whatever it was, you can kick somebody out for a whole range of reasons. So, being a creep, what is a creep? A creep could be there's money issues going on there, he's not paid for something. A creep could be that he's called Trump's, to say I kicked him out of the island because he's a creep isn't good enough in my eyes. Why did Trump kick Epstein out of the club, out of his club? Why did Trump, in the situation that he's commenting about here, why did he kick him out of the club? Why did he kick him out of the club? Okay, there's numerous things. Indebted. It was money. Indebted. These have just flipped out. Patience, temperance had run out. Fast action. Had Trump. Ooh. Allegedly, according to the cards, I'm wondering if Trump had invested in his island and stuff and things that were going allegedly, according to the cards, no facts here. Entertainment purposes only. This is just a tarot read, okay? Um, and Virginia was one of his girls, one of Trump's girls. They're all in on it. Fuck 'em. Sorry. Ooh, swore then. Ooh, passionate. Do you know what I mean? I think when you get feisty, different, not what you expect. The pimp got in there at the end, layer by layer, section by section. The pimp, indebted, patience running out, fast action, possibly a fight, enterprise, organization, living incognito, open doors, getting a start. So somebody was out opening doors. Was this Trump opening doors for him? Well, they both opening doors for each other. Two more cards, valuable women and for money. Ace of coins. So I kicked him out of my club, home, whatever he kicked him out of because he was a creep. Yeah, he's a creep, but a creep. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, that's very sketchy. It's not I kicked him out of my club because whatever. Do you know what I mean? So the cards are saying the cards are clearly I'm feeling from the cards. You've got to watch what you say. Um, I'm wondering if he was involved in it. So yes, we've got a shadow operation with the Democrats. They're not being entirely on, they're using it. And this is what I'm saying. It's so important to get to the bottom of all of this. But when we've got people that are already also shadow and it's so shh. My feeling is he's involved as Trump. He's possibly supplying girls to Epstein. Something happens. He kicks him out of one of his clubs. There's a money issue, indebted, not paying up for money. So yeah, right, that's it. And that's as far as I'm going with that shit show. That's my feeling on that. So yes, he's involved. Yes, he's been set. Oops, sorry. Yes, he's been set up, but he's also his own worst enemy. In fact, no, I'm not finished yet. Have I choff? Show me Trump's true energy in all of this, Epstein. Show me his true energy. I want to see his true energy. Then we'll move on to Jack Schlossberg. Show me Trump's true energy in all of this Epstein thing. Show me Trump's true energy, please. Ooh, okay. We've got a lot of cards. Okay, we've got a lot of. See what I mean? I don't want to. I'm going to take the two. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So we've got knowledge. He does know about it. We've got youth there, but there's too many cards there for me to read. Not that I can't read. Do you know what I mean? So he knows about the knowledge. He's got the knowledge of the youth and the reckoning and set up here as well. Let's keep pulling. Show me. Set up to take the blame. Show me Trump's true energy and all of this Epstein stuff. Dirty work. Hiding the bodies. That's just a figure of speech, by the way. Future foretelling prediction. Skills. Eight of coins. In too deep. Situation goes deep. Story to tell. Sing like a bird. Rebirth in a new form. Mr. President. And he's a liability. And we've got the card of justice. So my feeling is he's been a provider of females, allegedly, according to the cards. No facts here. This is just tarot. Has he been deeply intimate? I'm not sure. I think he's had a dabble, but I think my feeling here is that he's involved in it with that, but he's also getting set up. It's like any type of bad group of people. They'll start to just because somebody's getting set up. I'm just going to say Trump's getting set up doesn't mean to say he's not innocent, not guilty, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Criminals set each other up. Do you know what I mean? So this is the reckoning, the dirty work. He's got skills. Trump has skills. He's in too deep. He's got a story to tell. The rebirth. There's Mr. President. He's a liability. Um, yes, right. God Almighty. I think we read on that enough. Whew. So Jack Schlossberg, it's interesting. Let me just sort this desk out a minute. Jack Schlossberg, Aquita, Florida. So Jack Schlossberg is the grandson of President Kennedy. And I've always said, keep your eyes on Jack Schlossberg. And I'm Googling now and again. I've been Googling him more recently, and I've always been surprised that he's never got into politics until now. So this week at some point, it's been announced that he's going to go for Congress for New York. So, grandson of the late President Kennedy. What deck? Ooh, forecaster. Okay, so Jack Schlossberg. Just read on him now as a who he is now. Jack Schlossberg, Jack Schlossberg. Hope that's the way to pronounce it. Calculated moves, strategy. So he is stepping up, stepping forward. People are behind him. People are also using the fact that he's a certain sort of someone's grandson. It's not just by accident that he's here. Um, there is a team behind. I keep getting this vision. There is a team behind him that will use him because of his grandfather. He has to be careful of that as well, that he doesn't get exploited. Unveiled truth, tell all at the bottom. He's very vocal, we think. Terror response, living in fear. Interesting. Terror response, living in fear. One of the things I'm feeling with him is, and I actually felt the energy of JFK with this yesterday of, great, my grandson is going to go into politics. But okay, it's free world, we think. But he has to be, he has to be aware that sometimes Jack can come across Jack Schlossberg. I'll say Jack Jr., okay? That Jack Jr. can come across as naive. He's younger than me, he's in his 30s. So he'd be Gen X, that younger generation that's younger than the millennials. Let me in the comments, Gen or X or Y, whatever. And they can be very fear-based at the minute. He's got to be careful because he's going to be going into a world of older men, predominantly. Sorry, that's how it is. Still is now, even though there's still many women in there. So he has to just be careful that it's not knee-jerk reaction energy, that politics isn't something that you can just play with. It's got to be a real soul calling. It's not just a case of, right, I hate the president. I'm going to get in there and I'm guess whose grandfather I guess whose grandson I am. He's got to be very careful with that. Okay. Differences divide, irreconcilable differences. I think that's him and RFK Jr. Clear path, clarity. Breakthrough, successful outcome. Rainbow bridge, the help from grandpapa, granddaddy, grandfather. Troubled relations, miscommunication. We'll do 8. Structure reform, overall or update. And developing now in motion. So Jack, like I said, I've always said watch Jack. I've also said watch Princess Charlotte and watch Baron Trump as well in the future because they're going to be big players on the world stage in one way, shape, or form. So we're in with Jack now. This is the start of something very different coming into politics. Jack Schlossberg is a portal to bring in a new wave and a new energy and a new bit of spice. I know spice can be drugged, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spicy energy, something a bit different than the grey old men that we have to deal with. Sorry, but he's just coming in with a little bit of magic, a little bit of something about him. And it will be a ripple effect across the world. Now, does he become president? We'll have a look at that. But even if he doesn't become president, this is going to reignite and re-inspire younger people to think about politics in a different way. He's going to be a trailblazer in politics. He's going to be a pain in the ass to some people, and some people are going to want to treat him like a little kid. But he's got a fire inside of him, and I'm seeing a grandmother, or would it be a great? I'm not so sure if it's Rose Kennedy or the Kennedy from a Bouvier side, or both grandmothers. But there is a grandmother or a great grandmother that was a little firecracker. Any Americans? Which Kennedy grandma or Bouvier grandma was a firecracker, or is it both? And that energy is like firecracker energy is inside of him. Um, he's got to be careful that he doesn't get too obsessed with this thing with RFK. Let RFK Jr. do what he needs to do, whatever. Um, but interesting. So this is him as a person. He's here to reform. He's here to shake up the boat. He is the Kennedy that people have been waiting for. Okay. And it's developing now in motion. So let's have a look at what's the future for him. What's the future? What deck? What do we stick with this deck? Because this deck seems to get on with his energy. So what's the future for him? What's the future for him? And then we'll look at what type of leader he'd make if he's going to get to president. What's the future? I'm sorry this reading's going to be a long one today. What's the future for him? What's the future for him? What's the future for him? Jack Schlossberg. What is the Schlossberg? What is the future for him? What is the future for him? Financial abundance, growth and expansion. That's good. So many backers will help him. Ethical override, logic versus empathy. So he cares about people. He cares about the people on the street. He cares about the everyday person. He's less inclined to go with the big dickhead billionaires of the world. Flight pain. Oh God, because wasn't Uncle? There's too many JFKs and RFKs and juniors and seniors. Flight pain. Now that I don't want to think that's anything sinister, but I know that JFK Jr. was killed in a plane. So again, his legacy coming in. Flight, pain, and travel. Just something around that. We'll see. We'll come back to it. Pole exit, closing door. Okay. I just hope it's not something similar for him. I'd like to think that that's energy of that person coming in to help. Genetic biotech, ethics and advances. Breakthrough, successful outcome. Developing new in motion. We'll do two more. Structure reform. He's getting the same cards. Overall, an update. Unfolding drama and scandals. Let me just do a flight, pain, and travel. I'm feeling this thing of older generation, next generation, this passing of the baton. Let's just have a look at it. It's strange. Um, was it affected him, the death of his uncle? Closing the door. Have a clarifier for that flight pain, please. Terms agreed, deal made, information surge, data dump. Soul contract. It's a soul contract between three men, three male energies, yeah. One takes it so far, the other one takes it to the next one. Um, the other one takes it to the next one. Information surge, data dump. Also, as well, the burden of that, the burden of your granddad getting assassinated and your uncle dying, in the circumstances that he did, could weigh heavy on him. So he has to be careful of that. He has to learn from that in how he conducts himself. Right, okay. So he's got some good cards coming in there. What kind of a government predictions deck? Well, I've got predictions deck. Okay, interesting. So, will Jack Schlossberg become president of the United States of America in his current incarnation? Will Jack Schlossberg become president in his current incarnation? Urgent act now. This is the time to get up there and act now. The young lad coming forward for the greater good for humanity at the bottom. Rescue revived. Farming industry. Science breakthrough. We'll pull them then read them. So many people. Airborne toxins. Planned outcome. Rockets SpaceX. Do you know what I feel? I don't think he will become president. I think he'll. Do you know I'm that's tonight? Oh, it's 11:23 as well. 1, 2, 3. What day did JFK get killed on? Was it 22nd of? Let me just look at my thing. I'm seeing his grandfather speaking to him when he's asleep. So just let me look at JFK. JFK. 22nd. But it was 11:23. But anyway, very close to the fact when we were starting discussing that JFK, it would have been the date that JFK died. I think JFK will encourage him away from becoming president, because I think it's a shit show, and I think Jack has got a very vulnerable energy about him, and I think the world isn't ready for President Schlossberg. The world still wants older men because that's where it's at the minute. Some aspects of the world, um, and I do wonder if he'll go off into another area because there's going to be so many people going for it, so many people with their agendas, with money behind them. I think Jack's going to come in and he's going to live. Jack's going to come in, he's going to live. Okay, thank you for that. So I don't think he's going to get bumped off. He's going to live. Okay. Yeah, he's going to live. He's not going to become a president. He's going to live. Oh, I do love JFK. I mean, not in that, possibly they've been around the 600 I'd probably fancied him, but God. Anyway, Jack's going to live. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It could end up nice. You could have a shit show. It wasn't the reading, it was a shit show. It was just we were reading on some proper characters. But Jack Schlossberg, he's going to go out and he's going to do good. He's going to stay ethical. He's of service. But I feel there will come a point where he thinks, nah, this ain't for me. I'm going to live. I've got visions of his grandfather speaking to him in his sleep, saying, you don't. This you'd say this for all families. The burden of that, you don't need to carry on my legacy. And this is for all Americans. You don't need to become a president to carry on JFK's legacy. You can become a good citizen. And actually, I think that's where he's needed because I think if he stepped into that world of presidency, we've just done a read on all that, and it's a horrible energy. Democrats, Republicans, boom, can't stand either of you. Sorry. And it's just like, do you know what? Maybe Jack is the birth of something else, and maybe we're being asked here to go higher. That this is the old crumbling of these horrible institutions that are outdated, cold, callous, corrupted, and I do like JFK's energy. Ooh, I love that end of that read. I'm glad I did this last actually. Um, what's JFK's message to his grandson right now? Oh, when I said Jack's gonna live, I was like, oh, he'll realise that he's needed more on the ground than he is in the castle. I know it's not a castle. Um, we know that the people that step in there, and the more that we've got away from the old way of ruling, we know that they're not really the rulers. Come on, wake up, wake up. What's JFK's message for his grandson, Jack? Forced hand, control or coercion. Terms agreed, deal made. Let's keep pulling. Internal sabotage, the enemy within. Wash away, cleanse. Foundation, infrastructure, long-term vision. Unveiled truth, tell all. And climate reckoning, earth response. My feeling with that is don't step into that world fully or go too high up in it where your hand can be forced to sign things. You can be forced to be involved in things to save your neck because you slept with someone years ago and they're going to bring it out. Look at what they do with Trump now. It's all just shit, really. And the internal sabotage that all your past deeds can come up and you wash that away, cleanse it away. Don't go there. Stay pure. Live your life. Jack lives. Yes, live. And it's not just about not being unalived. It's about live. What does your soul want to do, Jack? And I feel as though um, President Kennedy, it's almost like that's a different world there, especially now. And I'm wondering as well if a lot of these younger, mean, we've been here a long time now. So what the future of politics is going to be, who knows? But yeah. Maybe, we keep saying, when are the new leaders coming in? When are the proper heart-centered leaders coming in? Because we've not got any at the minute. When are they really going to come in? I don't think they're coming in yet. They're possibly in the background, like Jack is, but I think this shower of shite that we've got now has to clear itself first. So we've just got to be patient. So rounding this, we're not going to look at the geomagnetic storms because we know light's coming in, magic's coming in. It's all happening for a reason. Um, Stay in your hearts, allow it to happen, don't take sides. Um, watch how they treat each other, stay in your heart, pray for everybody, send in love to Jack, and yes, whoa. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. There's a playlist on here called World News. Go watch it.